very good. Okay, very good.
Maybe Pat can take us in. Woo! Whoa.
It's Monday, October 4th, probably. Is that correct?
Fifth.
The 5th. Monday, October 5th. And what's the show's name?
I don't know.
Hard Factor. Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, Monday, October 5th. Pat, the Beef Cassidy, bringing us in today. He is feeling excellent. Back in Texas
Screaming
for the
at
first
the
time in a
top of
while.
my lungs. It's cathartic, Will. It's cathartic.
You like that? You want to do it every day?
I love it. No. Just
Okay.
that once.
I'd give it over to anybody that wants
I
to.
don't want it, buddy.
Okay.
Who would want that?
Well, not me.
Yeah, thanks. Pass.
Yeah, that didn't really work out in hindsight, being the guy who volunteered to yell at the beginning. Also, something that didn't work out, that was for my throat, I'm saying, was the six-pack plan. Try to drink a six-pack only for the LSU game.
Didn't we all predict that wasn't going to happen?
Yeah. No, you guys were all right. You guys all called it 100% correct.
Did you buy more than a six-pack?
No, what happens is you drink the 6 beers, and then you have liquor hanging around, and then you got food in the freezer, and then you got a huge weight gain, where I'm going to have to fast till the weigh-in. So,
Yeah, I had myself a Saturday, too. We woke up and watched the Leeds game, and I was drinking all those English beers, Boddingtons and Guinness and whatnot. So I put on some pounds there, but then I didn't go to sleep, and my wife did. So when I stayed up, I got on the elliptical and worked out for like an hour and a half.
Dangerous.
Hammered. Yeah. Very dangerous, but I burned like infinity calories, so it was good.
That's how the heart failure happens.
Oh, do I look?
No.
Do I look like heart failure?
I just assume that's how your heart fails, is working out drunk for hours.
Oh, well. I mean,
someone said his heart failed, and then he described what he was doing, and be like, makes sense.
I mean, I was
taking
working out
cigarette
harder. Yeah, I was working out harder than I ever have on the elliptical. I was doing like 3-minute and 50-second miles, just like balls to the wall.
Yeah. Well, how did Mark die? He got drunk, and then he got on the elliptical.
going 50 miles an hour on the elliptical.
He never, he's still ellipticaling somewhere.
Oh, shit. All right. Anything else before we get going, fellas?
Huge interview on the podcast today, man. Massive fucking interview on the podcast today. We're talking to a presidential candidate, a real one.
We finally got her.
That's right.
So Jo Jorgensen, the Libertarian Candidate for president. She joins us for the back end of the show, and it's fucking. What a delight that lady is. She is just a delightful human.
She is
right?
awesome. Yeah. Stick around.
One of my favorite interviews we've done.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Thank you,
Mark.
Joe.
Way to work on getting that interview through. You were like a scheduling Houdini with that thing.
Yeah, I made a mistake somewhere in the process, and it was but it was challenging because she's she's a
presidential
busy lady.
candidate.
She's a busy lady, so we got it done.
But and also turned out that it was the perfect timing. You should listen to the end to find out why, because it was a really cool setting for an interview. All right. Well, also to hear us discuss the SNL episode that everybody was so tuned up about over the weekend, tune in to Sirius XM Radio later on. We're going to talk about the SNL stuff, more depth about Trump's health, which is the top story today, obviously. We released a bonus pod on, what was that, Friday morning?
That's right.
If you didn't check that out, you can go check that out. Sort of the initial reaction to when Trump tested positive for COVID, or announced he tested positive.
No days off when the president's contracting COVID, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Then Wes and Mark put something out about him going to Walter Reed, which happened again on Friday morning. Or Friday afternoon, I guess, by the time he actually took the flight. And it's just been a shit show all weekend. Everybody just fixated on Trump and his COVID and how bad is it? And, I'm going to assume somewhere it's somewhere in the middle of what everybody's reporting, because from the very start, it's been one of the craziest things I've ever watched in my entire life. Actual news outlets reporting directly opposite of what Trump's health was the entire weekend, from him contracting it, from him getting taken to Walter Reed from the White House. And so let's just take it directly there. So you have CNN. They say, let's start actually with the New York Times down there at the bottom. Trump's COVID treatment suggests a serious condition. So
yeah, the Times pronounced him dead.
Yeah, it must be really bad. Must be really bad. The New York Times would say something like that. Then you got MSNBC or NBC, and they say that the COVID steroid treatment he received was a big red flag. Now, mind you, that was on Sunday afternoon, directly before something we're about to talk about happened. And then CNN says that the press conference only gives questions. So, and then Fox News, you switch over to the other side, and basically they're just saying that Trump is going to be back in the White House as soon as Monday, and that he's been cracking jokes and making everybody. Basically, he's gotten stronger from the virus.
He's got a tea time tomorrow.
Exactly.
CNN obviously leans very, very far left, but I think their headline was the best. Like, it's just there's more questions because there are no one.
Oh really, yeah, but they had other headlines that they took down from earlier in the weekend.
For sure.
So there you have it. According to the U.S. network news media, Trump is requiring emergency treatments, but is also potentially just fine.
Fine.
I agree with you that this was the case, and it was silly, but you do need to look at, I guess, the time the headlines were dropped. Because, now, as we're taping,
look at them.
CNN
the Times pronounced him, very serious condition Friday night. But
what I'm saying
Saturday
is CNN's
night.
right now is Trump's doctors give
they
jarring...
change it. They change
it. Can I finish? Can I give an example counter to your thing?
Sure.
Can I do that?
CNN change the headlines.
CNN's right now is Trump's doctors give another jarring update on his health. And then the sub is, despite reporting two concerns of drops in oxygen levels, the president's physicians offered an upbeat but incomplete assessment. Now, the sub on CNN is Fox's headline.
What was Friday night, though? I'd like to see what the headline was.
Yeah. That was interesting, too. Even the doctor's reports are weird. There's no one really knows right now.
It's not that weird. Here's what's directly from Trump. He got Regeneron treatment on Friday morning. His doctor said they gave him steroids, dexamethasone, when his O2 dipped below 95% at one point. They claim he never required any supplemental oxygen. And the last reading of his O2 level as of Sunday night, directly before he went on a mini rally, was 98%.
But the doctor said they did give him oxygen, and then they said on Sunday that...
Then they reflipped it.
Yeah, then on Sunday they said, we didn't announce on Saturday's announcement that he had two alarming dips in his oxygen level because
the doctor is giving conflicting kind of information.
The doctor's leading into these headlines. He's
well,
not
sure.
Being very transparent.
Sure, but here's what President Trump tweeted himself. I really appreciate all of the fans and supporters outside the hospital. The fact is, they really love our country and are seeing how we are making it greater than ever before. And then he posted a video immediately after that said, I'm going to go out and do a rally on the street, which he did do a motorcade rally, drove past all the people outside rooting him on at Walter Reed. And, of course, everybody's very upset about that.
Did he then turn back around and go back to Walter Reed? Was it a lap, or did he go back to the White House?
Yeah, back to Walter Reed. And so the outrage cycle just continues.
He did a victory lap, and then he went back to the hospital?
Kinda,
yeah. Yep. What's it called? He said in his thing right before, when he was hinting that he was going to do a victory lap, he said in a speech I've learned a lot about the coronavirus. I'm really going to school here. This is the real school, not the book school. And he's like, I'm gonna. that was funny to me. He's like a visual learner. He was just ignoring Fauci and everyone else is all the
it takes
him
work getting the disease.
Yeah, hands-on learning.
He needed the visual learning of having it.
Some pretty interesting things here. Learning about COVID, some pretty interesting things.
Right, that's what he said.
No one knew before.
You know what I'm learning about COVID? Some pretty interesting things. All of these guys, Trump, 3 Republican senators who are old as shit, and Chris Christie, who is not only old but also very obese, they all got COVID. So it's going to be interesting to see, not to be morbid, but to see how all these guys go through it, because Trump basically was 2 days and he's back.
You know what was pissing me off is the jarring from the far right call, like essentially being like someone put up a Kim Jong-un tweet or message like wishing Trump well, and then being like, see, even communist dictators will wish the president well, but the left can't handle it. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? Like every left leader was like, hey man, we wish our president well.
Well, leader, I think they were more referring to the general liberals online who were wishing him death.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are idiots.
Which
those are
Twitter
humans,
came out
like,
and said they were going to block those people, right? Or
Which they
suspend them.
didn't, though. I saw tons of
they
those.
They
posts.
said they're going to block anyone that threatens or champions the death of Trump.
Yeah,
that makes sense. What's it called?
Yeah. But you still saw the jokes all over the place, even after they said that.
I
don't think it's like
they all got it.
I mean, there were some hilarious jokes. You can't say that there weren't hilarious jokes. Like the low income joke was hilarious.
Yes, that was funny. Where he's like, if he wants the full COVID process, he should lose his job and get evicted from his house. That was funny.
Oh no, the one where like he's really at risk. He's obese, older, and in a low income bracket
because of the taxes. Yeah.
But the ones where he's like, it's like, I hope he dies. That's not funny at all.
That was seemed to be
there was
like
a lot of that.
The majority of them. Yeah.
What was I going to say? It looks like they all got it at the ACB SCOTUS event, right? But
people were calling. That's what I'm saying. People are calling that the
super spreading event,
Rose Garden Massacre. And so far, they were calling that the Rose Garden Massacre. That was trending. And so far, the one person who's most notable, the president, is recovered in 2 days. So they better hope that it's a lot stronger than that to call it the massacre.
Well, but they shouldn't have fucking been there with no mask. There shouldn't be a super
but they still look like idiots calling
government.
it a massacre.
I read
the people that look like idiots are the people that showed up to the fucking Rose Garden without masks and all got COVID, the leaders of our goddamn country. Those are the people that look like idiots.
I read that ACB already
Not the
got
people
it
who
in
totally
the summer.
overreacted and thought that they were going to all die immediately.
Shouldn't have happened, Will. And it happened because they're fucking idiots.
It would be nice if Trump said wear your mask. It was scary. I didn't like getting COVID. Wear a mask. I would like to hear that from him this week. That'd be nice.
Joe Biden's got a mask so big.
You know what's not going to happen?
He's definitely going to say Joe Biden would have died.
He's going to say that.
Definitely going to say that.
Gigantic mask.
Look, I don't think a softer Trump is going to emerge from this. My bet is that he's going to go on the offensive.
You're right.
Completely.
He's going to talk shit about the virus, and he's going to say it would have killed Biden.
People who are on the fence about wearing masks are going to rip them off their faces when Trump emerges from this.
Mask burning parties.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We're in for a fucking treat now.
We'll have more on
November 3rd.
More on this on the radio, right?
Pour gasoline on it. Yeah, more on the radio. More on the radio.
All right, let's move on. Well, Texas is going full Texas, guys, and looking like it's going to win me my Texas goes red this election predicted bet.
Yes.
You were in on that too, Will and West, right? You guys have Texas.
Yeah.
Texas
going red.
sure, yeah.
I'm maxed
I'm
out
a
on
blue
Texas.
guy there.
You got
have Texas
blue
blue.
Texas?
Blue.
You're not gonna like this story.
What sense? What sense did you get for blue Texas?
I forget off the check.
26, probably 25, 26. The reason being Governor Abbott has made Texas one of the few states that absolutely must vote in person and can't even use COVID-19 as an excuse to receive an absentee ballot. Here are the only excuses acceptable to do a mail-in vote in Texas. You must be 65 years or older, be sick or disabled, be out of the county on election day, and the period like starting October 13th when you can start voting in Texas, or be in jail. So you have to be a 65-year-old paraplegic.
Texas hasn't gone blue since 76.
Yeah, good luck with that, Pat.
That was
Governor
like 100 years ago.
Governor
Yeah, it's a
Abbott
while ago.
also. It's
No,
a
that
long
was-
time ago.
yeah.
I mean,
All
it's
in-person
44
votes.
years.
That's going to deter a lot of Democrats from even voting.
Correct. That's why it's going to go red. Governor Abbott has also limited the drop-off locations for mail-in votes to 1 per county on October 1st. He made this declaration.
That's fucked up.
And some counties in Texas are enormous, like Travis County in Austin and Harris County in Houston. So these sick, disabled elderly have to travel like 30 miles to like drop off their mail-in vote. They're not going to do that. Now the Texas and National Leagues of United Latin American Citizens, the League of Women Voters of Texas, and the Texas Alliance for Retired Americans are suing the state of Texas for voter suppression, which it sounds like it is to me.
Well, that'll get through before the election,
yeah, it's already
right?
October 5th. Today's October
I mean,
5th. So like,
Dude, Brewster County is the largest county by state. Area in the state. It's over 3 times the size of Delaware. It's 500 square miles.
So they have to drive like 2
They have
hours
one-
to
bigger
turn
than
in the
Connecticut.
ballots.
they have one per county. One
Yeah,
mail-in.
you're
Like,
probably going to
he
go
had
to
it out.
HEB live in person to vote instead.
You have to. You have to
Yeah.
in Texas. So there
Well,
you go.
the good part about Texas is you can vote early in all the grocery stores. So it's the
Right.
easiest place to vote in person.
That's true. The good thing about Texas is you can bet red on Predict It. Also in Texas, the Attorney General and top cop Ken Paxton was accused of bribery and abuse of power by 7 of his top aides this weekend as they demanded he resign and
don't
be
say.
investigated. They sent like a letter claiming like all of his like bribery and abuse of power. I think we have a
So
screenshot
Ken
of that.
Paxton,
Yeah,
Ken Paxton,
that's not good.
like, not only is this like unsurprising given his past, but he, if you guys remember, a few years ago, during like maybe the Obama administration, I can't remember, but he, or early Trump administration, he was accused of basically like insider trading, and he seemed very, very like guilty
Ken
of
Paxton,
it.
was he the
But
guy
he
that
still got off. He still got
he the
off
guy that-
like in court.
owned payday loan places?
I'm not sure, but I forget. He basically got a bunch of money very shadily.
Sounds like it, Pat. I mean, probably.
Yeah. Whatever you say about him, you should do some research. But yeah, he's probably got his finger in the pie. Like
I've been waiting for this guy to go down for a long time. I got a
Covered
letter
in
from
grease.
him. I get a letter from him every month reminding me how bad he's screwing me on child support.
Child
Just
support,
the,
yeah.
the Ken Paxton letterhead
Ken
comes in my
Paxton
mailbox.
Oh man, well your day to shine is coming, Wes.
can't wait.
Paxton's office is denying the claims, of course, and says that it's actually the 7 top aides that are the criminals, and they sent in the letter in order to avoid their own investigation going on for these 7 top aides. So the classic, no, they're the criminals, not me. What's going on in Texas, guys? Oh, and by the way, maybe
the same thing that's always been going on.
Yeah, maybe they're both right because one of the aides who signed the letter with the claims against the AG is First Assistant Attorney General Jeff Mateer, and he resigned on Friday, so he's out. Grab your brooms because it's a mess.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, Paxton, he put forward a law, I believe, or a loophole that allowed payday loans to essentially be uncapped, which is fucked up because payday loans are predatory.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
he
got tried. His SEC charges, he got tried like in his hometown court. It was incredible. He like got off from his like buddy the judge. It was crazy.
Are you over 65 and deathly disabled? You're just going to have to go 132 miles to get that mail-in vote in.
That's Abbott. And the whole
Fuck, come on. That's bullshit.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah,
that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
3 times the size of Delaware, Brewster County.
I'll tell you who loves that Ken Paxton news is Ravensburg from South Dakota.
Ravensburg, yeah.
Ravensburg. He's loving that AG.
Is Ravensburg in jail?
I don't know. We need to do a follow up and see how
Is
how
he
that's
in the
going.
country still?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Not enough people flee anymore. I
Yeah.
feel like that was like a 70s, 80s, and 90s thing. I feel like
If I'm
Bobby
Ravensburg,
Fischer
if
style?
I'm Ravensburg, I'm in Cuba or somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
He didn't have the money to flee. He'd flee if he had the money, I bet.
yeah,
who no, if he's a fucking attorney general of South Dakota, he has the money to flee, brother.
that's
He
true.
was driving like a Corolla or like a 92 Taurus. I don't think he's got that much
just
money.
sensible. He can flee. He
Yeah.
can flee, Wes.
All right.
South Dakota's on the border of Canada.
Guys that
He
drive
could-
Tauruses don't flee.
Anyone can flee.
Well, North Dakota wouldn't that be on the border?
Oh
of
yeah, the
Canada?
Dakotas,
Not-
but you know it's
because
one
just-
over
state.
South
really.
Dakota.
He just won't be living it up in the beach town he moves to. He's gonna have to get a
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move along. Last week, guys, after the debate, we were joined by Large, and we discussed perhaps the debate's biggest winner, the Proud Boys, or at least the attention they got when President Trump told them to stand back and stand by.
By
Until
the
that
way,
moment.
Pat, did you get drugged through the mud by like a billion people in DMs talking shit about how we talk shit about the Proud Boys? Because
No one came at me at all.
I got fucking
No one came at
hammered
me
by
at all.
like 100 people about the Proud
Well,
Boys. Like,
I
give me
think
a
the
fucking
big
break.
thing, the big thing that everybody wants everybody to know is that the Proud Boys was started as a joke, and that
Yeah.
even though it's not a joke anymore, it was started as a joke, and for some
I
reason
don't
that's
care
extremely
about
important.
the Proud Boys. I apologize if I offended
Yeah.
anyone's fucking feelings about the Proud Boys.
It's hard for me to understand. I don't understand why it's so important that it started as a joke, even though they are against
Overtly
their-
Western
what they were
chauvinists.
joking about.
Who the hell
I don't-
stands for the Proud Boys though?
It's not a joke. The FBI did deem them an extremist group,
Right.
so it's not.
But well, no, Wes, I'm saying the way it started again,
Right,
with
right,
the
right,
song and everything.
Yeah.
This
You
is
guys
what
hear it
people
started
get
as a
upset
joke?
about.
Yeah, it started
guys
as a
hear that?
joke. The guy from Vice.
So it's
I
cool.
get it.
I heard it
Yeah.
started as a joke. Yes,
Yeah.
That's cool.
So anyway, yeah, not many people knew about him. Even Large didn't know much about him. He's like he's like really smart. So
Fuck
that made me
Large.
feel
He set us up for that.
If you don't know, go back to Thursday's show last week and give that a listen for more. Basically, they're a far right group labeled, like I said, an extremist by the FBI, pro-gun, anti-feminist, and anti-gender equality. They take a libertarian stance on welfare. That's from a USA Today article. They maintain they are not racist and do have men of different races amongst their ranks. So why the fuck are we talking about it again? Well, it's because the Proud Boys are getting absolutely cucked and trolled by gay men all over the country and have gotten their hashtag Proud Boys hashtag completely taken over, and it is fucking hilarious no matter what side you're on. It's pure hilarity. There it is. There it is.
Look at that picture.
Look at that picture.
So it's just a bunch of like posts of gay dudes now.
Yeah. So the hashtag.
By the way,
trending.
Canadian Forces in U.S. is an awesome Twitter account. It's an official Canadian Twitter account that just talks about Canadian forces doing things in the U.S. In this case, making out.
Yeah,
Nice.
They are making out. It's two guys making out. So yeah, it was trending over the weekend, and a lot of that picture that's on the screen was going on. Most of it is like gay men celebrating their love with each other, their families that they have. So it was actually like a very positive thing they turned it into. So
we did this once. Remember, we're mad at people that were being dickheads. So we
oh right, with the wedding.
we fucked up their wedding tag.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. So, they say it's just an attempt to spread joy and love versus, division and violence. Enrique Tarrio, the Cuban-American who is the leader of the Proud Boys currently and also Latinos for Trump, doth protested too much about the takeover and is pretending not to know why gays are doing this. Quote, I think it's hysterical. This is something this isn't something that's offensive to us. It's not an insult. We aren't homophobic. We don't care who people sleep with. That tells you a lot. People think it's going to bother us. It doesn't. The Anti-Defamation League, which says the Proud Boys is, quote, misogynistic, Islamophobic, transphobic, and anti-immigration, heard different, I guess. They heard different. Tarrio went on to say, quote, one of the messages they want to send with this is that they're trying to drown out our supporters. They're trying to silence us. When you're trying to drown out other people's thoughts, I don't think there's anything progressive about that. Why don't these people just engage? And I mean, at this point, gays have them by the balls. Even if they come out with the new hashtag, they're going to take that over. It's the way it's going to be, and it's fucking hilarious.
I don't ever want to talk about the Proud Boys again. And
it's full circle. You don't have to. It's full circle because it's like they started as a joke. Now it's been taken over not as a joke, but as a sign of something new. So it's just done now. Right?
I think it's hilarious.
Life.
Keep nailing them. Keep nailing them, gay people.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And also, it goes without saying, Antifa sucks. They're bad. Okay.
Right.
Fuck off, Proud Boy stance.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Well,
so
all
that's
extremists, honestly.
Yeah. If you want to, check out hashtag Proud Boys and you'll see what we're talking about. Let's move over to Predict It. Predictit.org/promo/hard factors one. Huh?
Yeah, before we move on, I saw a poll that was going crazy over the weekend where like 36% of people on both sides think it's okay to commit violent acts or potentially acts of protest in support of your political cause.
Why?
Fuck all you.
That's right.
That's
what America is based on. So let's not forget that.
So
it went up violent. No, it's not they said violent acts of protest.
Why would you support
That's what our
violent acts of
country is based
protest?
on.
Yeah, against the King of England, Pat, not the fucking government of the United States.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so Pat's
It's
in
different.
the 36%.
It's the basis.
You're in the
of our
36%.
country.
So you think you should fucking burn a building down because you're unhappy with the president.
Did I say that? Did I do I think I should burn a building down because I'm unhappy with the president? Absolutely not.
You're
Do I
saying
think-
that those
do I think
36%
do I
of people that
in
think
certain-
that.
Look
in
how
certain
low
instances,
low
violence-
def Pat's picture is.
I know his internet's so bad I can barely hear him talk. What are you saying?
I said in some instances, absolutely violence is necessary.
Okay.
In some instances, that's what our country is based
Like today in 2020. Is that what you think?
100%. In some
100%. You
instances,
think there should be violent protests today?
I
in
don't
2020?
support
in
that.
some instances.
Pat, do you think
Violence
the
are necessary.
Antifa is Antifa
Wow.
one of those
All right, man.
instances, Pat?
Antifa means anti-fascist. Those
Okay,
guys
but
are idiots and they're assholes. And no, for the most part, the ways in which they've used violence have not been super
Nice.
effective.
Nice.
or
4 out of
progressive.
4 hate Antifa. Good. Good.
Okay.
That's
But
good.
guess what? If you're an angry black guy and you're burning down a fucking thing in your neighborhood because you're pissed off, I'm not going to tell you no. I didn't grow up black.
What about
and
an angry American, regardless of race, Pat? You think they should use violent protests to get their political point across?
I don't think that will, but I think that sometimes
In this
that is
year.
necessary. Sometimes. This year sometimes.
Let's move
You
on.
just said yes 5 seconds ago, so now no?
I said sometimes it's necessary. You can't. It's not black and white, man. It's not.
Okay.
It's not black and white, in my opinion.
All right.
To me, if you're under a tyrannical government like the King of England, sure, but
I'll tell
we're
you
in the
what.
United
I'll tell you
States
what
of
is
America.
black and white. Your issues at the home studio again with the internet.
That's true. Spectrum is
Back
is
at
inside
it.
you.
Spectrum's back at it.
You better go burn down the Spectrum building.
Yeah, I can support going to fuck up the Spectrum building with you if you want.
All right, let's move on. Let's take it to Predicted. Predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Get your free $20 on us. What the fuck are you waiting for? There is literally free money in my opinion, and I know you guys' opinion, just waiting out there. We have some markets that seem to me like mortal locks. Give you about 25% return on your investment. One being Texas to stay red, like Mark said. Pennsylvania to go blue. I actually got out of that one and just went all in on Texas. Also, Georgia giving you like a 40% return on investment to stay red. I personally invested like $1,700 over those markets.
Wes is just betting on voter suppression.
Yep.
Wes has $1,700 on voter
This is the
suppression.
voter suppression combo.
There's my vote or bet card right there, or a gamble card right there.
Tell you what's
1670.
not been suppressed is Wes's wallet.
No,
well, I
it's
see
going to be
this
liberated.
I see this as a lock.
I predicted.
Come, December 1st, I'm going to be getting over $800 back on these markets. I think. I mean,
There
if
you
Texas stays red and Georgia stays red, I feel like it's going to happen. So I mean, it's. What do you guys think? I mean, why not max it out? Fuck.
Yeah, but I hear that Georgia, in Atlanta especially, the votes are going to be hard to cast. So similar to Texas, probably bodes well for the Republicans. It feels incredibly dirty to profit on that. But I mean, in terms of smarts, we say bet with your head, not with your heart. Yeah, likely.
Yeah. Georgia hasn't gone blue since '84. Texas since '72. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna stay that way.
I have both those red, but I also am in Pennsylvania blue. So
Are you?
Yeah.
I got a little worried about Pennsylvania, so I got out of it without a loss and just went all in on.
I like
Texas.
Minnesota too as a lock. If you're looking for a blue lock, Minnesota, that's another state that's like never gone Republican. What's the last
Pennsylvania's
time?
Joe territory. Delaware and PA are very
Right,
close.
so close
Yeah.
to Delaware. Right, yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Good news,
That's about.
boys. Google Fiber is available in the hood. I just booked my appointment where you guys were arguing.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
God damn it! I need to get this.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, Pennsylvania is also a 25% return on investment. It's like at 74 cents right now. So I mean, hey, if you got some cash throw around, throw it in there. I feel like it's guaranteed. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed, but I feel like it is. Predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Get your free $20 on us. Get started and let's make some cash with us.
All right, guys. Real quick. College. It's a place for higher education, right? Place where the brightest minds go to further develop their talents through scholarly pursuits. We all had a good time there.
Oh yeah.
We were kind of by the hair of our chin, college students, but for the most part, it's real smart people doing real smart things. Wrong.
No,
Firefighters were called to
definitely
a dorm in England last week after a 21-year-old college student became stuck in a tumble clothes dryer. So she tried to get in there, and she couldn't get out.
Whoops.
Take a look at these photos. Rosie Cole, 21, was partaking in a drinking game and was dared by the other students to get inside the clothes dryer. And Cole reportedly thought she had no chance of fitting as she attempted to wriggle inside. She got in, but she could not get out.
That's
so
scary.
they called the fire department. Emergency services were called to the scene around 11 p.m. After Cole found out that she could not remove herself from the dryer. And the student had been drinking wine and honey tequila in the university halls in Breasaford, North Hull earlier. The rescue mission lasted about 20 minutes in total, involving 3 firefighters.
She was snookered. That is scary. Like Wes mentioned, can you imagine being in your own prison of like a fucking dryer? That would suck.
It's just anxiety just builds and builds and builds.
Yeah.
I would cry. I mean,
yeah, but at least she was stuck in the other way. like
If she had been stuck head first.
If she had been stuck head first, she would have been the victim of harassment.
Wait, only her butt was stuck?
No. Butt harassment?
Butt harassment.
Are you talking about
Yes.
butt harassment?
Absolutely,
Bunch
butt
of guys
harassment.
Bunch of guys
Pictures,
with
slaps.
feathers. Bunch
Yeah.
of guys with feathers are
Credit
playing with
card.
her ass. Yeah, credit card.
Yeah.
Tickler.
Transactions getting denied.
What's the senator that had that with, like, he's grabbing the prisoners, what was that guy's name?
Oh, you're the guy from
Larry
Saturday Night
Craig?
Live. No, the guy from
No,
Saturday Night Live.
Live.
The comedian.
Yeah,
The Democrat, the comedian that
Oh,
got
Al
fired.
Franklin?
Yeah,
Al
Al
Franklin.
Franklin?
Yeah.
He was pretending to grab the lady's
The
boobs
boob.
for a
He was
photo.
honking somebody
While
yeah.
she was asleep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, who wouldn't do that? But anyway, guys, this next interview, mega interview with a presidential candidate, Jo Jorgensen, is brought to you by Paint Your Life. Our family will not be together for the holidays this year because we got tons of olds in it. So many olds in our family. But I found a way to bring us together safely, and that's a hand-painted compilation portrait from Paint Your Life. Makes a perfect gift. Your mom's going to freak out. Your grandma's going to cry. If you're looking for a special gift for someone this holiday season, start now. Something truly unique and personal. We've got a deal for you. That's at paintyourlife.com, where you can get 20% off your first painting here. And you can have an original painting by a world-class artist done from hand, from any photo, at
Jesus.
an affordable price.
What a fucking gift.
The
What a
testimonials.
fucking gift. What a fucking gift.
We've been seeing people, members of the Hive, who've ordered these Paint Your Life for loved ones, and unanimous, amazing reviews. Everybody says that it's just a breathtaking experience when this painting is handed over to your loved ones.
You
So
want to make
that's
sure you're in. You want to make sure you're in the will. Get them a painting.
Right. Or if you're a burn it all down kind of guy like me and you hate your grandparents, you can send them a photo of you that they're going to have to hang on their wall, but they're going to really resent doing it. So, like, it could be you doing the mangina. It could be you pinching your nipples or making out with a dude if your grandparents are homophobic. They get that painting. A painting is something you have to hang on the wall, no matter how much you hate what's in that painting. It's they're going to have to hang it. So you could go the other way on it, guys. And the best part about it,
Revenge
like
paintings.
I'm crazy.
I would burn that painting in a heartbeat, but you should still buy it to prove a point. I mean, that's neither here nor there.
But then you come over and you're like, "Hey, Grandma, where's the painting of me making out with that dude?" Yeah,
She's like,
got
I
a
hung
lot
it
of
up.
questions to
I
answer
hung it
that.
up in the bathroom. Yeah.
No, she'll be like, I burned it.
And no, she wouldn't do that. Grandmas wouldn't do that. They
Why don't you
hate
just get her a nice?
internally.
Just get her a nice painting. She's a
But either
grandma.
way, you've proved your point, haven't you?
Guys,
the
just
painting.
get the fucking painting. It's going to work
Yes.
out in your favor either way. Here's
For
what
sure.
you do. Text factor, the word factor, to 64,000. So that's 64000. Text factor 64,000. And then you'll get your code. Go to paintyourlife.com, set it up. Risk-free, money-back guarantee. You're going to fucking love it. Do it now. It takes about 3 weeks, and it's totally affordable.
Hey, Grandma, I'm not even gay, but I hate the fact that you hate gays. So I made out with this dude. Here's a
and
painting.
you better hang it on the wall, Grandma.
Got you good, Grandma.
Got you
Because I
good,
worked on
Grandma.
it myself. And guys, let's take it over to the interview with Jo Jorgensen.
Okay, welcome to the show. A very special guest. Honestly, easily the most requested guest to have on by the Heart of Hive listeners. It's not really even close for one individual, the amount of requests we've gotten. It's American academic, Clemson psychology professor, and 2020 Libertarian presidential candidate, Jo Jorgensen. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Joe?
Great. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. I don't know if my fellow instructors would call me an academic. I'm a senior lecturer. I'm not one of the ones who does the research, but I'm really flattered to be called an academic.
There you go. Well, you have
yeah.
you have a PhD, right? Should we call you doctor or?
I do have a PhD. Well, you know, my campaign team prefers doctor, but I've seen one of your guys on Tucker Carlson. I know you're laid back. How about Dr. Joe? And
Dr.
now
Joe's great.
little
Love that.
more
That was-
than-
I like that. Yeah.
Dr. Joe, I have a rash. I don't know if you can see it. No, I know
Look,
you're not that kind of doctor.
Let's start simple, Dr. Joe. Can you explain libertarianism to 101 for dummies to us and to our listeners?
Oh, what I tell people is the Libertarian Party is on your side and not the side of bureaucrats, Democrats, and special interests in Washington. And that libertarians believe that you know best what's best for you. You know best how to spend your money, how to run your life, and not politicians.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got so we have a lot of libertarian listeners. One day one was trying to explain to me the ins and outs of it, and it sounds vaguely like a confederacy. How aggressive would a Dr. Joe administration be in reshaping the current federal government to get rid of a lot of the things that libertarians seem to not believe in?
Well, probably rather than listing all the stuff we would get rid of, it's probably easier to tell you what we would keep.
There you go. Okay.
You know, we think government should look like police, courts, and military, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, so Joe, that makes sense. I mean, I guess so the principles of libertarianism is less government, as small government as possible, right? And some people say that is not similar to communism by any means in terms of belief system, but it's similar to communism in terms of it works in theory, right? What do you have to say to that about libertarianism? I mean, obviously there's some government programs that are good, that do well for people, and if we got rid of all of them, is it just kind of a prediction game in what our country would look like, or?
Well, you know, they say that ours works good in theory. I would suggest that the Democrats and Republicans, theirs doesn't even work good in theory, and it's not working in person right now. You know, we've got people sending in over half their money to the politicians. Healthcare costs have skyrocketed. Education scores have not gone up. Our social security system is broken. I mean, all we have to do is look to see that isn't working. And, you know, you look at, let's take poverty. I mean, poverty was going down. Everything was going great until we got the government war on poverty. And then, oh, guess what? Now all the progress comes to a standstill. And we see education. We put in the Department of Education in the 1970s, and things have only gotten worse. So how can we keep throwing government solutions at it? But you did say something key here. And the problem is there's a hidden assumption that most people don't realize, which is you said, you know, isn't the government doing a lot of good, like some of their programs? Well, here's the question. You know, yes, you could say that providing education and providing welfare is good to society. But here's my question. Could it be done better through the free market? And I say emphatically yes.
So give us an example of that.
Oh, like for instance, the charity. We look at, and let me give you an example of the free market. So in the early 90s, and let me just go back to the war on poverty. Just look at the graph. Poverty was going down, 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 down. And then and by the way, what happened was Lyndon Johnson was sworn in as president, and then poverty continues to go down until 1971, and they say, oh, look, see, the war on poverty worked. But no, government works slowly. You know, just the day he's sworn in isn't the day that the program started. They had to pass all the bills and put
that would add a lot to the Kennedy conspiracy theory if that was the case. You know what I mean? Like that would be conspiracy theory's heads would explode.
Yeah. So really the war on poverty wasn't released. All the programs weren't in place until like the early 70s, like 71.
And you're referring to like food stamps and welfare and that type of stuff?
Exactly. Okay. So all of those, so it looks like government was helping to decrease poverty, but it wasn't because all those weren't in place yet. So all through the 60s, that was still a lot of it from private charity. But let me give you an example.
They work slow there at the government. It's a 40-hour week maximum, punch in, punch out. Yeah, not a lot of stuff gets done quickly.
Can't fire anybody either.
Yeah.
Those election years.
Sure. But in the early 90s, the CEO of United Way spent $400,000 on artwork. And by the way, keep in mind that'd be worth like $1 million today. And so what happened?
2.5 bananas. There's a banana.
Inside joke, Joe.
Inside joke. There's this. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Been too busy to be keeping up with podcasts. So so what happened was donations dried up. people said, you know what, we didn't give you money for fancy schmancy artwork. We gave you money to help the poor, to help unwed mothers, help people with substance abuse, people out of work. And so donations dried up. So United Way had to basically work their butts off to start getting donations back, and they cleaned up their act. Now, what happens when that same money goes to the government? I mean, do you think the government doesn't have high overhead?
Agreed. But isn't the United Way an example of free market charity, social safety nets failing, right? Where the guy's able to get $400K and he's the CEO of a charity.
No, what I'm saying is, well, let's back up. The way it worked is there was accountability. He put money into artwork, and the donors said, that's not what we want, so we're going to put our money elsewhere.
Okay, yeah, okay, understood.
So choice of where you put your funds that you're spending to improve the community.
The actual control, actual effect on a small business or a small nonprofit like that where change could be enacted.
Free market in all areas, even in human services.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no accountability in the federal government. What happens if the federal government puts too much money into artwork or carpeting or desks or bureaucracy or even employees?
They would never do that, Dr. Joe. When have you ever heard of that?
Never.
Joe, are we going to let Florida do this?
Florida? What?
Are we going to allow Florida to do this as well?
To do what?
Free market.
Free market.
We're just going to let them
be responsible with their own money? Are we going to let them do whatever they want?
The state of
Florida?
Oh, well, the state of Florida isn't the free market either. They're also the government.
No, yeah, we're just worried that if we give the people,
the residents of Florida might
Florida.
need some. The Floridians might need some
Just a
help.
bump
Handle
in
libertarianism.
Yeah.
right direction.
Yes.
All that
Right.
freedom is a lot.
In
Yes.
certain pockets, they won't know what to do with it.
They'll have to earn it. You know what I mean?
Dr. Joe, let's move on to something that was interesting that happened this week. It might have been last week, so we might put this on Monday.
Can I interrupt you? I thought I thought you started off by saying, let's move on to something interesting. And I thought
No. It's all interesting with you.
Just timing, yeah.
The presidential debate. You were not a part of that. What's up with that? Let's talk about the presidential debate. Your thoughts about it.
Well, it's certainly not getting the message out to the people. Unfortunately, so many people think they only have two choices. And really, there's one choice. I mean, if you look at both of them, and we hear the media call them two old rich white guys. That's not even the worst part. The worst part is both of them want to spend your money. Both of them want to make choices for you every day, education, healthcare, things that you should make your own choice about. And neither one is going to stop the crushing healthcare costs, and neither one is going to bring the troops home. So it would have been good. People say too bad for the Libertarian Party. Well, I say too bad for the American public that they don't see that there is another choice.
Yeah, well, Joe, I think I'm kind of getting. I have an analogy. Let me know if this works for you. If you agree. Did you ever watch HGTV? You're watching the HGTV shows?
I've watched them many times.
Okay, so you know how the first thing they do is they do demo day, right?
Right.
So if you became president, you'd essentially stop at demo day, right? You
demo
just do
day.
demo day and then you're done. No renovation, right? So
Demo day campaign.
that sounds like the best job ever.
Well, even though AOC doesn't realize this, our three branches of government are executive, judicial, legislative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only one of those branches. Now, there is something I absolutely can do on day one, and that's because I'm commander-in-chief, start to bring the troops home. However, even though I would love to demo the Department of Education, can't do that on day one. Got to get Congress to go along with me. So I'm going to have to get them to cut the budget first. So a lot
Ooh, how do you see that happening with all those career politicians in D.C.?
Well, I will remind them, I was one who was elected president. If you like your nice cushy job, then you better follow my leader. And you might not.
You're gonna have to get a food taster, Joe, if you
like
try for that shit, because those people are dirty. But back to the debate. So, what was your overall take on it? Yes, it's two old rich white guys who want to spend your money. First of all,
they do?
Yeah, how they do?
Well, I only watched part of it, and
That's baller. That's hardcore.
Well, actually, the problem is, I hate to tell you this, on my Rockstar bus, the TV system wasn't working. So
Never
I only
does.
got part of it on a little. It did.
We'll cut that out. Don't worry.
I got to see part of the Clemson game, so at least it was working during the important stuff.
That was better viewing. Yeah.
It was working during the Clemson Tiger game, the football game. So that's what counts. But here, let me tell you, I hope this isn't too philosophical for you. By the way, can I give you a short answer to your last question?
Please.
How would I keep Congress in line? I'm a teacher. I know how to handle problem students.
Okay.
So, bam,
There you
short
go.
answer.
Lots of them in there.
But now my
Break their spirits.
but yeah, well, yeah. But now and by the way, I'm known for being tough. I kick students. If I even see a cell phone in class, I kick them out. So
wow,
that's
got to be a lot of kickouts.
I'm hardcore. Oh, I always make it a point to kick somebody out on the first day of class. So they
prove a point.
Oh, yeah, that's prison
Alpha.
style.
Do you ever-
Prison style.
And you don't. It doesn't sound like it, but do you ever set up like a TA or something, like just to take the fall? It sounds like it'll happen regardless.
Well, okay, actually, I do something worse than that. I have a TA sitting in the back of the class, and I don't tell them there's a TA in the back of the class until the TA catches somebody on the cell phone.
That's technically government, Joe. Though that's government. You know, like I'm just pointing that out.
It's hardcore getting the job done. Hey, remember, my degree is in psychology. And I know if they don't see that I mean business, they're not going to pay any attention to me. So, see, you just asked me, can I control Congress? I'm telling you how I've got great techniques for controlling.
You do.
Okay.
Yes. You can get one of your congressmen on your side to sit in the back of Congress and get those assholes in line. Yeah.
Yeah, just spy on them. You'll be in charge of the FBI and the CIA. You just spy on all of Congress.
That's right.
Obviously, that'll fix it.
I think the white shirt with the tie and suit might give it away, but
yeah,
never know. So, Joe, back to the debate real quick.
This might be too philosophical. The first thing they talked about was the Supreme Court. I'm watching Donald Trump talking about why his Supreme Court justice pick was great, and I had been out of the news loop for a couple days because I'd been sick, so I didn't know what the Democratic response was. But I thought, you know what? I don't even have to know what the Democratic response is. It doesn't matter who he nominated. Biden's going to say, oh, your choice sucks, because that's what happens right now. Because even the Democratic Party, and shame on them, they've always been the party of anti-war. Trump is saying, years ago, Trump is saying, let's withdraw from the Middle East. And the Democrats are saying, no, we got to stay there. It's like, since when are the Democrats for war? Oh, yeah, since Trump is saying he's against it. It's gotten to be that it's the red team versus the blue team.
Right, whatever's opposite.
Yeah.
Right, no principles. And when I first joined the Libertarian Party, I used to tell people, and this is like 40 years ago, well, we take the best from the right and the best from the left, economic liberties and social liberties. I can't even
That sounds nice.
Anymore. Well, yeah, but you can't say it anymore because now they don't represent anything.
Well, Joe, it sounds like a lot of people are saying it. There was a little rumor that your website crashed on the night of the debate. So like maybe those old buffoons hashing it out was the best thing possible for you and your movement. Is that true? And what kind of cash influx did you see afterwards?
Oh, I don't know about cash, but I do know we were getting.
They always say they don't.
We were getting 1,100 inquiries a second.
Nice.
And I can tell you, here's my favorite number is from the beginning of the campaign. About 75% of our volunteers have been from outside the campaign. And that's unheard of, especially for a libertarian. You got to start small and grow. We had people knocking down the doors on the first day saying, oh my gosh, get me away from these two people. And, but no, maybe that was good, but no, it's still better to have me on stage because a lot of them don't know to look for my name. A lot of them don't know, is there even another party out there? Because most people don't treat politics as a sport like we do. And so most of them don't even know to go looking. In fact, I'm embarrassed to say this. I went down to see my banker last week, corporate taxes, stupid big government. And I said, by the way, I guess, I'm busy. I'm running for president. And she was like, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, come on, your local banker.
Yeah. Joe, I've got bad news for you, Joe, because, I hate to tell you this now, but your website is still down. So
way.
yeah, so
Oh, the
it
links,
might be
the links are
the link.
broken.
Well, actually, I tried to get it again, and it's just saying it's an error 5521 right now. So might be a problem. It might not be why some people don't really know your platform as much.
Got
but
to
I
check
wanted
on
to,
that. Yeah, I got to make sure I can see the site.
Although, you know what? Maybe they don't need to know my platform. Maybe they need to know is anything's better than these two guys.
Yeah.
Right,
So
well,
I have a question about that. Sorry, have you been accused of dozens of sexual assaults?
Not one.
How
No,
many?
well, then
Really?
maybe you
How
should-
many though? Come on.
Maybe you should have that as your platform.
There you
Zero
go.
sexual assault allegations.
Yeah, I would say that's true. I could say not one because really it's 6. I've
Yeah.
been
Pretty good though.
Not bad. Not bad.
I wasn't trying to go in past you. It's 0.
yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Joe, I got a question. You know, a lot of people, myself included, I'm sure these guys as well, you know, believe that there should be a third party candidate there. And in 2000,
Yes.
right,
more
in
than two,
2016. Yeah, in 2016, I voted for Johnson. A lot of people say that's just throwing your vote away. What do you say to people that have that kind of mindset that voting for maybe you in this election is throwing their vote away?
Well, first of all, voting for what you don't want is a wasted vote. But I would say, especially if you're in a red state or you're in a blue state, it's wasting your vote to not vote for what you want. If you voted for Trump, and I get why you did, he said he was an outsider, you know, I'm a businessman, I'm going to cut the budget, I know how to balance a budget, I'm going to cut the deficit. He did none of that. If you vote for him this time, especially if you're in a red state, you're throwing your vote away because he's going to get all the electoral college votes anyway. So vote for me to send him a message to say, hey, I voted for you to be an outsider. You're not being an outsider. Be more like her and at least send him a message. And for the blue states like California, they're not going for Biden. I mean, I'm sorry, they're not going for Trump. California is obviously going for Biden. So what I say to California and a few other states is Biden's going to get it. If you're anti-war, which is what the Democratic Party used to be, if you think it is just you know, shame on the National Party for keeping Tulsi Gabbard off the debates, the only anti-war voice out there. If you think it's
One of the only veterans there too.
Yeah, and if you think it's non-democratic to shut Bernie Sanders up and to buy him off, vote for me to
Again?
vote for again, exactly. Vote for me to show the Democrats, hey, I'm not happy with the job you're doing. I don't care how many votes, you know, I can't get enough votes from California to knock Joe Biden off because he's got California.
But you can send a message. I like your sentiment about don't vote for what you don't want. With record high disappointment, Gary Johnson in 2016, he got 3.28%. Do you think you can beat that?
Well, we're hoping so. The only problem is he did get some name recognition from the polls. You know, they were putting his name in the polls from the start.
Well, he sounds old and white. So, like, if you're going there and you don't know much, Gary Johnson, you're like, he could
Have you thought about adding an E to your first
that's
name,
what I was
Dr. Joe?
gonna say. I need to add an E to my name and then done, right? So anyway, but Gary Johnson's name was in the earlier polls, and so he got name recognition because every time a newspaper, TV show, internet, podcast, whatever, every time they showed the polls, people would see, oh, there's another name. Who's this Gary Johnson? And then they'd go check him out. Well, he got to 13.6 in the polls. You need to get to 15% to get in the debates. And I think they were saying, you know what? That's dangerously close. We better just start not even putting her name in the polls.
They learned their lesson in 92 with Ross Perot. Yeah.
Exactly. So now my name's not in the polls. And so how can I get anywhere without my name in the polls?
Well, Joe,
Right.
on that question, so like, I think what are the pragmatic hurdles, right? So you said like 15%, obviously the debate ship has sailed, right? But is there a marker that you can hit this year where there's a funding element that kicks in? Like what are the pragmatic hurdles to really kind of move a third party closer to being a realistic possibility in office?
Money?
Well, okay. In some states, for ballot access, we need to get to 5%, and there are other states where we need to hit a certain marker. So for some of these states. In fact, that's a really good question that you asked me about, because yeah, I need to include that in my answer. Yeah, sorry, just doing strategy on the fly here. I need to add that to my answer of, isn't that a wasted vote? Because, you know, there are some states that if we get to a certain point, then next year we don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get on the ballot.
There you go.
And so, so I don't know that nationally that would help, because first, I'm not going to take matching campaign funds. That's I don't want, I want to walk the walk, talk the talk. So I'm not going to accept matching campaign funds. So that is moot. So I think it'd be more for a state by state basis to help some states get on the ballot next time.
Cool. Joe, okay, most of us live in Austin. Well, Will, you can take this question, I think.
Oh, yeah. Well, these guys live in Austin, or they still do. I left Austin mostly because I'm terrified of bats. And that city is just chock full of bats, disgusting animals.
Yeah, Joe, we're really concerned, Joe. We're concerned.
So, not only do bats terrorize everybody in Austin, they started the coronavirus. I don't know if you heard about that. And then they viciously attacked you, I think, at your house, right, a few weeks ago. Yeah. Can you tell us what happened here? We got a real bat problem, and I don't know. I mean, are you the candidate that's going to take care of the bats finally?
It knocked you out of campaigning for a couple weeks. I feel like it must have been a terrible attack.
No. Well, just a couple of stops, but well, actually, no. I still wouldn't have the government get rid of bats, because I still think the private industry could do a much better job.
Okay, good. Well, I'll start that company. I can guarantee it.
But how do you get bit by a bat, Joe?
Well, what happened? Yeah,
you have a cut.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't get bit by a bat. I had to get up at the crack of dawn, because it turns out you would think leaving on
bat time.
Yeah, very good. Same bat channel. So yeah. you would think that going on a bus tour, you'd go to the bus station to get on the bus, but no, you actually have to get on a plane to fly, you know, several states away to get on a bus. So anyway, left at the crack of dawn. Open up my back door to see if my cat was there, to say goodbye to my cat, since I was going to be gone for over 2 weeks. And all of a sudden there's something in my face, like, what's going on? Oh. And ironically, it touched my neck. And so I slammed the door, and then I peeked open the door, and I see a little bat hanging on the screen door. So, but it didn't bite me. It only scratched me. But it turns out the bat's the only animal that that you only have to be touched by a bat to get rid of these.
It's that disgusting.
Do you have did he ask permission to come in? You didn't give him permission to come in, did you?
I wasn't going to let him in anyway.
Okay. Well, that's good. You might be safe.
Cats would have messed that bat up. I mean, they might have got rabies too, but they would have killed that bat for you.
How is your sleep, Joe? Are you sleeping okay?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Look, Joe.
For the bad thing. You know what? Well, that's what, you know, somebody made a joke about, you know, making sure I'm not turning into a vampire. And my husband said, well, they don't know you're already a vampire because you're sleeping.
Well, Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, you gotta get rid of all the bat regulations that currently exist when you get into office.
Time out, Pat. I got this. I got to counter this. I think we could make a viral video that'll get your name out if you want to do this in the next month before the election, before November 3rd. Come to Austin, Texas. I think it's bat season. We can go to that bridge when all the bats come out. The tourists go there, right? Like whenever a relative comes, they want to go see the bats, right? So we'll take you to the bat place. We'll clear you out. We'll bring cameras, and when the bats come out, you can like raise your arms, like you're controlling the bats. Yeah.
Let me mention two things here real quick. If you haven't heard, because I don't think I've announced this on any podcast, but to let you know, my election party, my election night party is actually going to be in Dallas.
Okay.
My stupid hometown city of Chicago, or well, near Chicago, you know, they're all shut down for coronavirus. And the second thing is they have started the rally, and but here's the thing: if you don't mind, because, you know, I'm a speaker, but a couple of speakers have to be there first. I can either get off gracefully, or we can just keep talking, and then I'm just going to have to go, you know, 20 seconds, see you bye.
I'd rather keep talking, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Me too. I'd rather keep talking too. So, but I'm going to have to carry the, I'm going to turn the
sure.
off for like 20 seconds, but I can keep talking, and then we're going to carry the computer through the button.
Oh, I love that, Joe. That's fantastic.
We can keep talking. So
sounds good. Are you inviting us to your Dallas thing?
Yeah, we'd love to come. Thank you.
Well, there's a charge.
Oh, here we go. Here we go,
Campaign
Joe.
makes money. You
we
got to
get a
have money
discount?
to run a
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure what the charge is, but
We'll pay it, Joe. We'll pay it.
Stuff. Okay, but yeah, hey, I would love to have you guys come up to what? And by the way, yeah, you're the only podcast getting a tour of the bus.
This is cool.
Oh, wow.
Very nice bus.
That's my. Oh, there's Katie.
Hey.
There's my Rockstar Lounge.
Nice.
This is the bunk section. This is where sometimes
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the groupies go.
Yeah, did you check under the mattresses for cocaine? You should do that before you go across the Texas border. I'm just telling you.
Good point. Although I guess I've never used cocaine. See, this is why
It's not about you. Yeah.
We'll bring some to Dallas.
That's about my bus crew, right? Yes. Why? Yes, I'm a libertarian. Everything's about me. And then here's like our seats where people sit. And stuff.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
so I'm gonna hang
Sweet
out by
bus.
the door.
Well, Joe, real quick, do you have a message for Kanye West that we can? Do we think Kanye should stay in, or what's your message for Kanye?
My message for Kanye, you know, I don't mind him running as much because I think it's good that maybe people now will learn how hard it is to. Oh, and by the way, can I show you this real quick?
Yeah.
Just like they do with the rock stars, they put the
So you don't forget what city you're in.
exactly as you walk out the door.
Nice.
Because I was in the middle of some speeches when I was like, I forgot.
Cocaine helps with that. That's why they do it. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, problem solved. So, yeah, Kanye West is at least bringing, you see, I'm going to say ADHD as you guys. Kanye West is at least bringing the message, or at least the realization to people that you can't just get on the ballot if you want to be president.
Right.
If you work really hard. So I'm hoping that once Kanye sees how hard this is and other people see that, you know, maybe there will be at least a little bit of an outcry saying, hey, wait a minute, we didn't know that this was a monopoly and that all the power was held by the Republicans, Democrats. We just thought that's all, you know, that's all the people who wanted to do it. But, oh, geez, it turns out that, you know, there are more. I'll turn this way so you can at least see me a little bit.
Nice. I feel like if Kanye really cared about the American people, he would not run and continue to make music, which is similar to how I felt about Arnold Schwarzenegger when he ran for governor and stuff. I was like, can you just make movies? You know, like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, good point. Oh, maybe I could even take you outside, huh?
Oh, we would love that, Joe.
yeah.
Hey, Joe, also following up on the bats, I think that, like, what do you think? Do you think that you got any of the bats, like, powers when it scratched you?
Well, I already had the bat power of staying up all night, but
anything else though? Did you?
I don't know the exhaustive list of bat powers. So
Okay. They can hear in sonar.
Yeah,
Like
sonar hearing.
Sonar.
Yeah.
If you bite one of your assistants, they'll live forever, but it's going to be very tempting to not kill them.
Yeah.
I'm not good with hearing. Sometimes my students get frustrated when I ask them to repeat a question. I teach in the big auditorium classes, so.
Well, if you find yourself suddenly better at hearing, you know what happened.
Yes, but then wouldn't I be dead for? Oh, well, wouldn't I? Well, I guess that's not associated with rabies. That's associated.
No, just a positive benefit. Your ears might get bigger though, so you got to watch out for that.
You can run in 21-20.
Now you do know that people's ears get bigger as they grow, as they get older, right?
One of the only
true?
things that doesn't stop growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife just told me my ears were big last night. That's God damn it.
Yes, the ears and the nose, and I think one other place are the areas that don't stop growing. They continue to grow as you get older.
I don't want to be too gross, but it's not the penis, Joe. Dr. Joe. That's not one of the areas.
I'm gonna just be a nice.
Yeah.
Yep. No. Yeah. You guys got any other questions? Presidential candidate Dr. Jo Jorgensen.
Dr. Joe.
Wait, before we get off, let me tell you, you can rudely hang up on me at any times, you know. So
Oh no, we're good.
No,
we're having fun. We're having fun.
Yeah, no, I'll stay. I'm going to stay on as long. You guys are going to be the one to end this, not me. So
well, tell us what your week's coming up, because I think this will come out Monday. So like, what do you got this?
Where can people?
This upcoming week? What do you?
I don't know, Katie. Where are we Monday?
Where are we on Monday?
Philadelphia.
Oh, Philadelphia.
Ah.
Well, you can totally use the bad things happen in Philly against.
Yes.
Right.
On Monday, Independence Hall Square in Philadelphia. Also, if you guys want to, whenever she gets introduced to the crowd, I can hold the laptop and follow her out.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That's cool.
It'll be up to y'all to go ahead and lead the call, but y'all can see all of what we do with every day.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay,
That's awesome.
Sounds good. We might hang up on you after we get that footage. Yeah.
That looks great.
And we'll see. Well, in fact, you can listen to my speech. I'll know when the boring part of the speech is, because I'll know that's when you stopped.
We'll watch it. Dr. Joe, I'm telling you, for Philadelphia on Monday, you come out there and say good things happen in Philadelphia.
Awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's
I know you might miss some of the debate because you were out there just actually doing the Lord's work, actually campaigning while those lazy sons of bitches were just arguing. But Trump came out and said, bad things happen in Philadelphia, bad things. And I don't know if the city of
he
Philly
insulted Philadelphia pretty hard. Yeah.
really appreciated that.
Well, when you said I'm doing the Lord's work, I thought you meant teaching.
Gentlemen,
I'm
she's
still
being
teaching.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Get your popcorn ready, guys.
No, I can still answer questions.
She's being introduced.
No. Oh, you
Okay.
focus.
Now so without further ado.
Jo Jorgensen.
Properly socially distanced. I love it.
This is cool.
I'm actually on a podcast. I don't think and it was my grandmother's vision of liberty and the basic principles of Libertarian Party that bring me here today. I've been crisscrossing the country, as you can see on my bus. Oh yeah, be sure to show the guys the bus.
The bus is beautiful, Dr. Joe.
Oh, look at
lovely
that.
bus.
Nice.
Hey, there she is.
Audience with me. This is really unusual. They were great guys. We had to reschedule. And so I told them we could just talk until they talk. But so I've been crisscrossing the country in this bus, and everywhere I go, people are telling me the old way isn't working. And we can't wait another decade to see if politicians figure out what's going wrong. I think that you know best what's best for you, and that's why I'm asking for your vote for President of the United States.
Cool. Yep.
Thanks, Joe.
Yep.
That was awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Joe. Thank you, Kate.
What an interview that was. Obviously, it's Jo Jorgensen. It's just a lot more fun to say, Jorgensen, Dr. Joe can come on our show anytime. What do you guys think?
Love Dr. Joe.
Yeah.
I
Great
wish, she was my
conversation.
aunt. I wish she was my aunt.
Yeah, for real.
She'd be fun.
Well,
You know what?
My aunts are awesome, but I would like to add her into the aunt group. Yeah.
Next time we talk to her, I learned this after the fact. We need to ask her about her hockey playing, because I didn't know this before we interviewed her, but she plays hockey.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Well, let's get her on again.
Yeah, she'll come back, guys. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to check out our show on SiriusXM Satellite Radio, Barstool's Power 85. 10 a.m. Eastern today. We're going to be kind of expanding on some of these topics, talk about some new and different stuff. Make sure to give us a follow at Hard Factor News, at Hard Factor West, at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Will, and at Hard Factor Pat. Most importantly, guys, you better get out there and have a great fucking day.